Right, here we are again. I've got Pastor David Loup here again, and we're going to talk about a prophecy by someone called Harold Camping. Hello, David.
Hi.
Alright, Harold Camping predicted the rapture of the church will happen May the 21st, 2011, and the end of the world October the 21st, 2011. Now, what do you think his followers will do when none of these events happen?
Well, I mean, they're going to be rather embarrassed, aren't they? And
I think so.
humiliated, you know. I mean, I wouldn't like to be in their shoes, actually, because they're making very bold statements on YouTube and on the radio, and, you know, there's thousands of people watching them, and they really sincerely believe they're right, that the rapture's going to occur on that day, and the world's going to end on that day, and it's not true.
No.
So what they're going to do, they're going to be like the ostrich and dig a hole in the sand and bury the head in the sand and pretend it's not happening, because they've got to face the very people that they've made that statement to. It's going to be, I wouldn't like to be in their shoes. I'd go into a cold sweat, actually.
Yeah. They might possibly even start to make excuses as well as to something happened but people didn't see it or whatever, as people tend to do when they're caught out. But it's going to be obvious, isn't it, to everybody watching that it just hasn't happened.
That it's funny you're saying that, because you do get these people that make these predictions, and well-known ministers make them as well. And then they start trying to worm the way out and come up with all these excuses and say, well, I didn't actually mean that.
Yeah.
Because we've seen it on YouTube before. Actually, this man, Harold Camping's made predictions before that have failed. And then we go back to the JWs, they've made predictions that fail.
When they say they've got new light on something, in other words, it changes each time it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And the new light explains it all away.
That's right,
Yeah.
it's just a total lie. They're just worming the way out of it. You can't worm them. He can't, Harold Camping, neither can his followers, worm out. They've actually said, this is going to happen on that day.
Yeah.
There's no way, speaking to all you people that are following Harold Camping, that you're going to get out of this one, because when it doesn't happen, you're going to be made a fool of.
Oh, that's sort of led into my next question, really, which was, what advice would you give to his followers when none of these events occur?
Well, my advice will be to all you people, because I'm sure you really want to please God and want to follow God and you know, be sincere and be all out for the Lord, but you need to find a good born-again church. And some of you people that are following this man might not even be saved. You might just be following his prophetic teachings. You don't really know Jesus Christ, and I have that niggling in a sense inside of me that quite a few of you don't know Jesus, because if you did, why are you being led astray by false prophecies? And why do you not get the witness that this is wrong? Maybe some of you are getting the witness now and saying, yeah, you know, I could get out of this now. It'd be far better to pull out now than to carry on with this belief, because it isn't going to happen. And so my advice to you is, all you people that are following him and that believe in this, is find a good born-again church where they teach sound doctrine. It has to be a born-again church, because and one that teaches sound doctrine. Yes, we teach Bible prophecy, but it's got to be based on the Bible. It's got to be within the context of Scripture, and that's where you find it. But you know, I know Harold Camping gets into all the mathematical formulas and the dates and the feasts and everything, but he's got it all wrong. It's not going to happen. Jesus said nobody will know the precise day and hour. We can have a sense of the signs of the times, which we look for and we see, because it's there in the Bible for us to warn people. But to actually predict it's going to happen on such and such a day, there's too many people made a fool of themselves doing that, and it's not happened, and they fall flat on their face. There's no way out of this for Harold Camping. He can't make excuses. We've had them all. I've got books upstairs by some of these people, and a man and a woman, they think they're the two end-time prophets, but it's a man and his wife. Well, it says two men, you see, so they've made a mistake there and a blunder, and he's made predictions and they've failed. So that's another story, but my encouragement, I feel sorry for you that you're making a mistake following him. Get into a good born-again church and listen to the truth preached from an anointed man of God, you know, a pastor that's had some good sound he's been brought up under good sound teaching, and he can pass that teaching on to you. you know, a good shepherd of the flock.
Yeah.
That's what a shepherd's for, to teach and to shepherd the people with the truth, and so they won't be led astray. This prophecy is make-believe stuff. It's not going to happen. Look, I just want to finish with this, if you don't mind me
No,
saying.
that's all right.
It's not going to happen on that date, the rapture. I've stated it quite bluntly, quite plainly to you now, and there's no way out of it. You can't get out of this paper bag you've put yourself in. You can't fight out of it. I'm just telling you now, it's not going to happen. So what are you going to do when it doesn't happen? And the end of the world isn't going to happen on that day. It's not going to happen. I know it because I know my Bible, and it's quite plain. It's not going to happen on that day. Yes, all these things will happen, but not on that date you said. You got it wrong.
Thank you, Dave. I'd just like to add something myself, if I may. Just that there's no shame in admitting to people that you've got it wrong. I mean, sometimes Christians, I think they worry that if they admit to being wrong on something, it's a bad reflection on Jesus, but it's not. In your testimony for Christ, it's important that you're real with people. And if you've made a mistake and you own up to it, you'll get more respect that way, and that's a better testimony than running around saying things are going to happen when they're not.
That's right, we can all make mistakes, and it's better to humble ourselves, and God will still bless us for doing that anyway.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much.
That's okay.
I hope that's been of help to people.